YouTube faithful, what is going on? It is Thursday, May 16th. My goodness, time flies when you're eating chalk, boys. What you gonna say when you're having fun? Nobody was having fun after the Thunder laid down 1, 2, 3 in the middle of Oklahoma City and just got pounded. I'm thankful I wasn't there to see it live because I would have blew a fuse. Anyone that knows me knows that I blow fuses like a Fallout robot, baby. I'm telling you right now, I would have blew a fuse. But the fact of the matter is this: there's always another day, there's always another slate, and there's always another green bean right around the corner. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I cover NBA fantasy sports, MLB, WNBA, PGA, NFL, all the sports to help make you a better fundamental process player. I try to keep it real. I keep it 100. I tell you the things you don't want to hear that somebody has to say because nobody else is going to do it. I don't try to market to you with fluff and nonsense and fake catchphrases and slogans like free and all the other nonsense the other ones say on a daily basis. Again, I will try to keep it real and I will do my best to get you guys a W each and every day. That being said, I come before you now a defeated man. Absolutely. PrizePicks hooked me up yesterday with a $200 protected play. Yes, 2-0-0, baby. And it had to be at least a 4-man. I did do a 4-man. I always flex my 4-mans for the most part, but since it was a free roll, I decided to make it a power. Posted it in the cord, let everybody tell I told them to flex it, but God knows they probably powered it. It did go 3 of 4, 2 of 3 because one pushed actually. I got Shea Alexander under points correct and Luka over fantasy correct. Gafford points rebounds pushed at 16 because he missed a free throw, and I had PJ Washington over 14.5 points instead of my original plays PRA, which I gave on the YouTube, and he sold. The books had his points juiced under. I couldn't figure it out all day, and then he just decided not to shoot. They know the script, y'all. You add that to the fact that my team lost, and they didn't just lose, they got beat down. I've never seen Chet and J-Dub play so bad. Our coach changing the starting lineup, putting Isaiah Joe in over Giddey was absolute nonsense. It ruined the whole rhythm. Even the TNT post panel said it. And Charles Barkley said we were going to blow the Mavs out of the gym to make sure that we get jinxed. He's literally the biggest mush and jinx in existence. I'm begging him to just don't say that about my team, bro. I'm begging you, Charles. I love you, but please, Chuck, just don't talk about the Thunder, man. You jinxed us. So we got beat. I'm taking an L. Kyrie couldn't get his assist. I had 3 slips waiting to cash for 400 plus from the day before, waiting on Kyrie to get 6 dimes, and he couldn't do it. And it wasn't even his fault. He had potential assists. His teammates just didn't want to shoot when he was dishing it out. You combine that with Washington and you get a disaster. It's insane that I get Luka right and Shea right and somehow still can't profit. But you know what? That's the life we've chosen, y'all. That's the gambler's dream, or should I say the gambler's nightmare. It's the gambler's life, y'all. It is what it is. We live to fight another day. Bankroll management is paramount in all things in life, especially in this. So without further ado, that was your 2-minute opening, and now I'm going to give you a 10-minute masterclass, hopefully, and I'm going to keep it a buck right off the rip. Ain't nothing here that Captain Crush says, woo, that's good. I don't see anything that looks good, fam. Nothing. Not a dang thing. I was struggling with what I was going to make my play of the day. Mike Conley's fantasy was 26 the other day when he was going to be play of the day. He got ruled out. They put it back down to a crispy 25. So I'm going to go right back to it because hopefully he's at home. If they lose, they stay home, and he gets it done tonight. Mike Conley is the glue that holds this offense together. Without Mike Conley, the Wolves are drawn dead, in my humble opinion. He's not Rudy Gobert. He's Mike Conley. Now, my boy Money Mike is averaging over a fantasy point per minute the last few games. So being the fact that his back's against the wall, I hope he wants to come out there and perform. He has been cooking historically against the Nuggets, and I love the fact that he's at home. I love the fact that they're facing elimination. I hate the fact that he's got Achilles problems. That's literally one of the worst injuries for an NBA player, for any player for that matter. The hamstrings, the Achilles, all that stuff is just poverty. Now I have my secret weapon over here, DG Fantasy, and we can see right off the rip, he's favored to go over 25 fantasy points. MGM has it totaled up at around 26. We know we're getting a little bit of value. It's 53%. He is my play of the day. Y'all, if he doesn't play, I'm sorry. I'm just taking the risk. Hopefully he does play. I mean, they need him. You guys saw what happened without him. He's the glue that holds it together. Mike Conley, man. He's that guy, that crafty veteran, the former highest paid point guard in the league. Mike Conley. He's got to play tonight. And more importantly than that, he's got to green out our contest, our entries, our lineups, whatever you want to call it. But the world calls it a slip. So let's keep it a buck. He's got to green our slips, y'all. We need Mike Conley to come through for us. You can see here, it's crispy. Now, if I go over here to Outlier, which you can get a free trial, links in the description, it should work. If it doesn't, message their support. You can see that at home, head-to-head, he cooks the Nuggets historically. 33, 26, 28, 32, 32. He's yet to miss it this season. So I will continue, baby, to ride this train until I'm forced off. Injury and all, y'all. Injury and all. I know that he's not feeling well or injured, whatever. He's got that thing. But I will reverse and say, well, because it's a closeout elimination game, that cancels each other out for me as far as narratives go. You dig? And speaking of which, yesterday, the Boston Celtics -2.5 first quarter should have been the best bet possible of all time, baby. And they found a way to sell. But tonight, the Denver Nuggets are 2.5 point dogs, and I will be taking Denver Nuggets plus 2.5. I honestly think that the Wolves might pull it out today, but I don't think they win by 3 or more. So I will take Denver Nuggets plus 2.5, and hopefully that hits, but I'm not going to be hammering it by any means. Again, I don't really like anything tonight, but I will for sure be anchoring Mike Conley, so hopefully he gets it done. Now, the other thing that I got to talk about is Michael Porter Jr., and I mentioned him last time. His lines just keep dropping and dropping, just like Luka, just like Al Horford. Al Horford soared yesterday. When the lines get so low, it triggers, bang! Bounce back game's coming. You know that big game is coming. Yes, he's been in a slump. The only reason I'm not anchoring Michael Porter Jr. tonight is because his brother's John Tay, and they may be having some type of investigative party, dropping and dipping pockets and dimes and whatever else. I really don't know. I don't know what's going on with Michael Porter Jr., but knowing that he's got a family member that was literally selling himself for coin, I mean, look it up now. Jonte Porter, I can't rule anything out, okay? I got tinfoil hat on right now, but with that out of the way, Michael Porter Jr. was 12.5 points last night. I was locking it in. People were locking it in. They moved it to 13.5. 12.5 points is egregious. I don't care. I will take that all day long. Even at 13.5, y'all, I'm taking a shot. It's just too low for his upside, so I will take a shot. Even his fantasy score, it's 24.5 on other books. It's 25 on PrizePicks. His PRA is super low, 21. I mean, you got to know going into it, it's a massive gamble. But 25 fantasy points, it was just 33 a couple games ago. I mean, this is the lowest you're ever going to see Michael Porter Jr.'s line unless he just doesn't get it done tonight and they have to go back for game 7. But I'm going to take a shot. And I'm telling you, comment guy, it's going to be a sweat or he's going to soar over. He's either going to sweat it out or he's going to soar over. Those are the two options I think happen. But with what he's been doing, we can't focus on that. We have to focus on his ceiling and what he's capable of. And when the lines get low like this, just like Luka yesterday, Captain Crush, bang, he attacks. Just like when the lines get too high, I go under. When they get too low, I go over. We buy low and we sell high, baby. So if you have the stones, the stomach to take Michael Porter Jr., Captain Crush says, bang, you got my blessing to get in the mix. And I can't tell you how many times I've had a 1v1 with Conley and Michael Porter Jr. and MPJ's the bag seller. Can you imagine taking less on this? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. And it might hit, but I'm taking more. Fade or tail, it's up to y'all. Even his fantasy score, I think, could get in the mix. Then we got to talk about the studs. Well, I'm pretty sure Aaron Gordon was at 14 points and now they lowered him down to 13.5. Aaron Gordon has been the unsung hero of this entire series. Underrated, underappreciated. The man is literally, other than Joker, the reason the Denver Nuggets are keeping their composure and absolutely dominating this series right now. 3 in a row. Aaron Gordon doesn't show up, they're gonna lose, okay? Aaron Gordon is literally that guy right now. It's absolute insanity. So let's go back to D Jizzle and see what his lines are. D Jizzle, that doesn't sound good, but you know what I mean. DG Fantasy. Make sure to use code CRUSH now. Get your 25% off. You can see here, even with it still being juiced under. Everything, all the books have been disrespecting Aaron Gordon all series long. Everything of his is always being juiced under. I don't know why, and he keeps exceeding expectations. So I will tell you this. If you want to take Aaron Gordon on a site or something, make sure you go to Chalkboard, Sleeper, Parlay Play, where they're going to pay you the right odds, because you don't want to take it on PrizePicks where you're going to get the worst payout. Take it over there where you're going to get paid an even a better wage, because even though those dollars and cents may not seem like a big deal, in the long run, they are. Turns a break-even player into a winning player if you're constantly maxing out your value. This is crazy. Under 31 fantasy points being 27, 30, 27. But like I said, all series long, that's what's been happening. So that's my take on Aaron Gordon. I'll probably have some exposure to his points or even his PRA over on Sleeper. Maybe Chalkboard. I haven't really had time to look over there. I had doctor's appointments today. My neck. I feel like I was in a car wreck. It's been bothering the heck out of me the last 2 days. Getting massages, getting chiropractic work. It is what it is, y'all. I guess I'm becoming an old man. I don't know. I actually slept wrong. Now, Christian Brain, or should we call him Braun? 6.5 points. Is he hitting, chat? I don't know. Is he hitting 10, 11, 5, 2, 7? The man's been coming off the bench and he's been absolutely cooking. And I've had exposure to him every night and he's been cashing me. Bang, cashing me. I know if I go look at his lines, it's going to be ugly. But we got to dig in the dumpster here. Look at this. His points over 6.5. It's minus 118. It's pretty much a 50-50. His points rebounds over will give you some push equity. But once again, you should take it over on a book like Sleeper or something like that. I'm going to limit my exposure on PrizePicks, and you should too. Then you got to figure, if Conley were to sit, you smash Walker right here at 7.5 points, because he's going to be the direct benefactor. He will be the benefactor, the number 2, the guy you go to. He cashed me last time. So what? Free, baby! As soon as Conley was out of the mix, Captain Crush, bang! Pull that trigger and he's in. But with Conley in there, I will fade that noise. Now, I know everyone's like, Cap, you going to talk about the studs? Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. What about Naz Reid? What are you doing with the 6th man of the year, Naz Reid? Looky. His points under 10 are being favored. That's absolute insanity. What do I have him projected for? Oh my goodness, I got Naz Reid going for 9.5. So if you want to take a shot, this is Lou Dort 2.0, chat. If you were in the live stream yesterday, I called out Lou Dort's points over. Model liked it. Books liked it. Cash. If you want to gamble and take Naz Reid under 10 points at home, I guess you could, but that's a little bit too risky for Captain Crush. Again, like I said when I came on here, y'all, there wasn't a lot of stuff out here that I liked. Everything seems a little bit too high or perfect for me. I do think Towns at 17.5, his Gabi always needs to be considered. Justin Holiday at 0.5 point, this Gabi, oh yeah, you can consider that for sure. Absolutely. He just needs one bucket to cash you. I will definitely have exposure to that Gabi for sure. He doesn't get a lot of minutes. He doesn't get a lot of anything, but for sure I will. And same thing with Reggie Jackson. All these role players, let's just say they get blown out, then you know that they might even get even more run or something like that. So I will have exposure to those 0.5 point goblins for sure. Malone doesn't run a tight enough rotation to scare me off that. Even Brain, we just talked about him, his 3.5 points Gabi could be considered. My favorite point Gabi though is Jamal Murray at 14.5 points. He just had a bad game. Basically, he backdoor covered the taco. Thank God! Even though it didn't matter mostly because Kyrie Irving couldn't get 6 dimes. That SOB, I should slap him into Dallas. I told you I was going to walk into the hardwood if Kyrie's sold, and I will be in Dallas for game 6 on Saturday, and I just might stare him down and call him a jabroni. Freaking him. But anyways, 14.5 points for Jamal Murray. I think it's crispy. And this will probably be my daily double right here. Bang! Not a full 2x, 1.9x. I think it's crispy. You got to consider it. That would be what I like for Jamal Murray. Heck, even his PRA seems low. It just does. He can have a blow-up game, but he hasn't been doing it. I'll probably just stick to the 14.5 points. And then as far as Joker and Ant Edwards, well, Joker has been going off, so technically he's due a stinker game, but in a closeout situation, I just don't know if it's going to be tonight. I don't know if what I'm doing with Joker yet. You'll have to wait for the live stream, which will be today at 5:30 Central, and we're going to talk about the game, the WNBA, PGA, MLB, all of it. You go to CaptainCrush.net Gold Package, running the promo right now, all caps WNBA, and you will get 30% off. Bang! $17.49. New users, come get in the mix. If you need a home, you need people to argue with, you need people to talk trash to, you need people to jip and jive with, you want slips to tail, you want Captain Crush's projection model sheets, You want access to the live streams. You want all the plays. You want it all. You get my Discord there. I got people doing God's work, MLB, NBA, all of it, folks. Get in the mix. Try it out. Woo, I forgot about this one, boys. Chet's Gabi and that CS2 value that I told you guys about yesterday using DG. Cashed it. Let's go. I forgot about that. I love to see the greens, boys. Let's go. Spartan got that into. That was a surgical call using DG Fantasy. Now, you sign up with any of my partners, Underdog, Chalkboard, Sleeper, Parlay Play, DG, you get 30 free days for new users now. New users. Current users that sign up with my partners get into the monthly drawing for $400. So that's that for the current users. Just shoot me the email. I mean, for esports, DG's is the absolute nuts. It pays for itself, I promise you. Code Crush 25% off. So that's where I will talk about Edwards and Joker and all that. But I will say this, Joker at 29.5 points, or excuse me, Anthony Edwards at 29.5 points is crazy town. Now everybody can say, oh yeah, he's at home, he's backs against the wall, he's going to drop 40, and I get all that, but here's the deal, here's the rub of it. It has nothing to do with me liking it or loving it or anything else. The fact is, this line is hot garbage. It's 28.5, that's the true line, and you can get it on other websites. I believe Sleeper, Chalkboard, you can get it at 28.5. Don't pay for it here if you want to take over, you're just donating money. Now, real quick, WNBA, y'all, what are we going to do? A lot of you guys got WNBA protected plays, right? That 20 burger from PrizePicks. Well, Captain Crush tells you this. I took over at 20 points. They bumped it up an extra 0.5 to take away your push equity. It's the most popular play on the board, but the fact is this. She played 32 minutes. She chucked 15 shots. There's not enough data points yet. We don't really know, but Captain Crush, he's going to throw his hat in the ring, and he's taking more on Caitlin Clark. Baby! Yes, I will take the chance. Why? It's a free roll. I don't care. I got Laney last night at 13.5. She was at 14.5. Took under on that. She's back at 13.5. Bang! I'm going right back to it at 13.5. Is she going to sell? Probably. She's probably going to sell. She's going to be one of the most popular players on the board, but again, it's a free roll, baby! So Captain Crush doesn't care about a free roll. If I lose, I lose. If I chalk, I chalk. I get it back. I get it all back, baby. And then I will give you one more if you did want to do a two-man for the WNBA, which Captain Crush covers WNBA all summer long. Go back to my summer catalog. I had daily videos. No one else was doing that, but Captain Crush does, and I will do it again this summer, because whether you like it or not, WNBA prints coin. Now give me 2 to 3 weeks to get the data points and the projections right, and then we'll be cooking. And we won't be cooking with oil. We'll be cooking with butter, baby. Everybody loves butter. Cooking with butter. We're talking about dairy. Now Courtney Vandersloot, I won't go into a mix on that, but less than 10 points, I think it's crispy. She's older now. She's mainly a facilitator. Can she get 11 points? You can bet it all that she can get 11 points, but I'm hoping that she doesn't tonight one more time so I can get that. Now, that's what I got to say about WNBA. Just know you're rolling the dice, shaking it up. You need snake eyes. You need a W, and look at that. Just as I talked about Laney, they just bumped her back to 14. It's crazy. I swear they're watching me, bro. At 13.5, you take more. At 14, you can fade it. I promise you I'm going to find where they got that hidden microphone in this office. I promise you I'm going to find it. So, just like the thumbnail implies, Captain Crush said, let's talk about the second half method. But before I do that, I did want to call out Jamal Murray over 5.5 assists, or should I say higher, on Underdog seems absolutely crispy. I will go ahead and take this, and if they do have Mike Conley on here, let me see. They're adjusting everything. I don't know why. If they put Mike Conley's fantasy score up here, which they probably will later in the day, you can pair it with Jamal Murray and Mike Conley. That's your two-man. Bang. And then for Clark, when they do put her points back at 20.5, you could take that. They don't have that up right now, so her second option would be points rebounds for me. But Jamal Murray projects for 6 in my model. I think that's a low line for him, so I will have exposure there. Promo code CRUSH on Underdog. You get your match 50% up to 500. So if you deposit 500, they'll give you 250, and they have the best golf lines in the business. I am cooking that. I did some round 1, but I didn't post it because round 1 is volatile. I'll have round 2 for the boys tomorrow after all that data comes in. If you're interested in cooking PGA, I made a video on it. Go find it. It has Max Homa as the thumbnail. Now, let's talk about the second half method. 99% of people make the mistake when they cook second half. And what is that mistake? They go to ESPN.com or whatever, look at the box score, see who's shooting and making shots, and they just assume it's going to continue. they make the mistake of what they see in front of them is going to continue in the second half, and that's the loser's mistake. That is why these books make 90% of their money on second half in live bets, because they take advantage of that public sentiment, that wrong stuff. The crush method, the right way to do this, you have to know what the opening lines were for the full game. You need to memorize these, take a picture, whatever it is, if you plan on betting second half, and you need to keep that in mind. So let me give you an example. If Edwards opens at 29.5 points, right, which as we can see, this is his opening line, and at halftime, he has 20 or 22, and then his second half line is at like 18 or 17 because he's been doing so well, you wouldn't just go take more on that. Why? Because let's just round this to 30. 30 plus 17 would be 47, which means his opening line would be 47. It doesn't matter what happens in the first half, y'all. Yes, there's exceptions to the rule. Guys that it can still go that way, whatever. Yes, that's gambling. It's the same thing with the full game line, but the correct way to do it would be to take under, because it's more likely that he's going to finish with around 30, and you know that they're juicing it so high because he's already got 22. That's when you would take under. Same thing with anyone, not just Edward, okay? Porter Jr. at 13.5 points. If he's got 15 at half and his second half line is 10, you would take less, okay? Because that would put 15 plus 10 would be 25, and if his line opens at 13.5, that's a 5, almost a 10-point differential. That's absolutely insane. I teach this stuff in my Discord during the games and on the live streams. I really want you guys to understand this, because when you figure it out, it'll blow your mind, but more importantly than that, it'll boost your win rate. Forget what you see in the first half. It's all math. The only thing that matters, how many did he get in the first half? What's the current line? What was the opening line? And that's how you decide. I'm trying to find somebody with a nice even number, which of course, okay, Karl Anthony Towns, 20 points, right? This is his opening line. So let's just say Karl Anthony Towns has 15 points at halftime, and then his second half line is 10 points over under. What would you do? Well, everyone's going to be like, man, he's crushing it. I'm taking over. Wrong. That would be wrong play, long-term loser. You'd want to take less because his line is 20. So it's more likely that he's going to land around 19, 20, 21, regardless of what he does in the first half, okay? This is where he's going to end up. 7 out of 10 times, right around here. So his second half being 10 means 5-point differential, means obviously you take less. Now, like I said, guys like Joker and Aaron Gordon, it's not an exact science, number one, but number two, Joker can drop 20 in the first half and 20 in the second half. Yes, that happens, but we're talking about what's most likely going to happen, long-term winning strategies. That is the formula. I do teach this in my Discord. If you're interested in getting in my Discord, go to captaincrush.net. I focus on teaching you guys how to win long-term, fundamental things, best practice. I don't sugarcoat it, and I try to give you guys the fundamentals to build houses brick after brick, y'all, all right? And I try to do it in an entertaining way. Now, it's hard for me to talk about this on a YouTube because I can't interact with you guys and I'm on a time crunch, but I hope that helps you guys in some way to do that. Just remember, add and subtract what the current line was and make your decisions based on that. I promise you, you will win way more often than not. During the playoffs, it's going to be a little bit dicey with the top players, but even then, it's still long-term more profitable than just, oh, this guy has 20 points in the first half. He's dropping 40 and taking overs, okay? That ain't hitting. I promise you. Do the work, learn the work, master your craft, master your hobby. This is how you get better. Captain Crush is here to guide you along the way. If you're new to my channel, go ahead, subscribe. If you're an old school crafty veteran, smash the like button like your mama taught you right. Yesterday, you guys obliterated that like button, and Captain Crush gives you a salute. Good luck in all your contests, baby. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.